Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the PPC Questions and Answers show. My name is Jason Rothman, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Chris Schaefer. On this show, the spinoff of the Paid Search podcast, we answer your AdWords questions very directly, and they're shorter episodes, and we get right to the point. So thank you for tuning in.
That was so professional.
We appreciate the
so good.
iTunes reviews and the likes and subscribes on the YouTube channel. So today's question comes from a listener named Omar from the second city, the Windy City, Chicago, Illinois. Omar writes in and he asks, if a client has a monthly budget they'd like to spend on AdWords, is there an automated way to pause all campaigns if and when it is reached? Chris, I believe Bing has a monthly budget column setting that you put in there. Google AdWords does not. It is based on a daily budget. So as we know, Google can spend on any given day up to twice the daily budget if they think things are going well, and then they'll taper that down over the course of a 30-day month and basically hit your monthly budget. But sometimes and always it is very rarely for that to be exact. So if a client has $1,000 a month budget, depending on how many days are in the month, because of that daily budget, if you just let it go, they might spend $900. They might spend $1,100. They might spend $1,010. It varies. So if you want to hit the nail on the head, if you want to get to that monthly budget exactly, you're going to have to do something separate than just look at the daily budget. So Chris, you can look at your budget every single day. You can look at how much you've spent and pause it during that last day, just at the final minute when you've hit your budget, or you can do something more automated. So Chris, why don't you tell Omar about his options if he wants to have something more automated set up?
All right. So thank you, Jason.
You're welcome.
So Jason, thank you. And I would like to this is it's another weird one, isn't it? Okay, I'm sorry. Keep it professional.
That's okay.
So Omar, good question. Here's something I really like to do. Because one of the worst things you can do at AdWords is to, let's say you're not spending enough money in AdWords, and so you want to up the budget, and you forget that you increased the budget by 200% because you wanted to try and get the last spend out for the month, or something like that, or you reduced it because it was a holiday weekend, then you forget to change it again. Okay, here's a great way to monitor spend and many other things using the automated rules in AdWords. Okay, now what you're going to want to look for is when you check the box on a campaign, on an ad group, on a keyword, there will be an option there that will highlight that will say automate. Okay, this is how you create a rule. You do it directly in the AdWords interface, new and old. And you just start by first selecting what you want to automate. So select the keyword, select the ad group or the campaign or all of the campaigns. And what you can do is you can set up a rule. This rule will automatically perform an action based on the criteria that you give it. So in Omar's situation, he wants to automatically pause a campaign when it has reached its monthly spend. So you would simply highlight that campaign, set a rule up, an automated rule that says pause campaigns when. That's the language that's used in the rule. And you set up a rule to say when cost has reached greater than, and then put your budget in there. And then you say pause that campaign. That's the action that will be taken because of that criteria given. So because this is something that needs to check every single day, it needs to check how much it's spent. So you would set this as a daily occurrence, not a one-time or a weekly or a monthly. This needs to be a daily occurrence, and you can set it for 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. or at noon or whatever you want to do. Set it for a certain time of day. It repeats every single day, and then you've automatically can take that off your checklist of accidentally overspending a client's account. Okay, or your own account. You set $500 every day. It's going to check to see if that's $500 has been spent within that month, within the current month. It's important that you set that option, and now you can rest assured that you'll never spend over $500 in that month. Okay. Now there are many other ways that you can make adjustments. You can pause keywords if the keywords have spent over a certain amount. You can pause a keyword if it has spent over a certain amount and has not garnered X number of conversions. If the cost per click reaches a certain amount, you can lower the bids. There are all kinds of automated methods and rules to apply that can make changes to your campaign on your behalf. But, and here's the big warning, I find many people abusing this and thinking that they would set up some type of automated rule that's going to change their campaign for them on the fly. They don't even have to worry about it anymore. And these rules can be very conflicting with what the person might actually do if they saw the metrics in front of them. So I want to discourage people from going too far and taking these rules beyond the scope of human decision making. Okay, pausing a campaign because of spin, that's black and white, right? That's easy to do. But pausing a keyword because the quality score is below 5, what? No, that's not a good idea, because it's not always a black and white decision there. Pausing a keyword because it's spent over $300, no, that's not a good decision, because you need to factor in other cases. So don't take this automation tool too seriously. You want to make sure that you make good decisions that are, my theory is it's going to be a black and white automation. You're going to make sure you use this system to make black and white decisions, right? If this, then that. Don't use it to make decisions that it might have a gray area in them in some way, because that's where I find a lot of people really messing up their campaign and wondering, why did our clicks go down? Oh my goodness, I forgot I had this rule set up from last month. I completely forgot about. So be very careful about that. But that's it. Jason, what do you think? Is that something you use on your own, or something you think would be useful?
You know, when you used to have a job, Chris, and you used to commute to work, how you would like drive down the road, the same exact road every day, and then there'd just be one house or one business you just never saw for like 5 years for whatever reason?
Yes.
These are my confessions.
I know where you're going.
Unlike Usher, I did not get someone pregnant while I was cheating on my girlfriend. So that's not my confession. But my confession today is that, yeah, I've selected campaigns before. I've hit edit. I've hit details, auction insights. I've never even seen with my eyes, Chris, the automated button there. The automate
That's
button.
Amazing.
I've never seen it with my eyes, Chris. Yeah, it's crazy. I've never seen it. I've never been about the rules. I need to get into them more. Always been very, very UL or optimizer. But yeah, thank you for enlightening me on that one, Chris.
All right. Well, good. I hope that's useful, Omar.
It's extremely useful, Chris. It's extremely useful. I feel like I owe you money or something. I'm going to forget that feeling and not send you anything. So send you out a windbreaker or a coffee mug. So everybody, thank you for listening to the PPC Questions and Answers show. This show is available because of listeners like you and viewers like you. So we appreciate, Chris, don't go too far because I can't pause the show, buddy. He just walked off because he thinks he's a cool cat. But if you can leave us a review on iTunes and a rating, we're at 9 ratings. We'd really love to get higher. And if you can leave us a like button on the YouTube channel, we'd really appreciate that. So thank you for tuning in today. We will see you next time on the PPC Questions and Answers show.